So today I want to talk about in reference to metabolic health and, people are trying to do weight loss and they're trying to, control what they're eating or such. And people are prescribing medications such as Ozempic, Mounjaro. There's you name it, there are different ones out there that are excellent. Okay. They do work. Yes. But until you understand the mechanism of action of medications or the need, these are not something that you do as a first line of a weight loss or when you're trying to understand your weight or understand why things are eating. Now, I'm going to share my screen because I feel that once you have some idea, maybe, maybe in that situation, you may change your thought process of what to take. Now, I don't, I'm not one that will prescribe weight loss medications as a firsthand choice because I'm much more into a functional and nutrition approach and changing your behaviors and learning what works for you. But the reason it's become this new thing on all of the social media platforms is because it's an easy fix, right? Everyone goes, oh my God, if you get a shot, you're going to totally lose weight. Why? First off, I want you to understand what these medications are doing. So this is one of them that is, so initially you want to know that it's called semaglutide or GLP-1. And its mechanism of action is that 94% of the GLP-1s, which it is a receptor agonist to the body and it binds to that receptor. So that receptor stops the body from producing more glucose and it kind of mediates that. Then in turn, though, is that it's albumin binding. It has issues with the renal clearance, and then it degrades your metabolism over time, as you can see here. And then what this says here is furthermore, the semaglutide stabilizes against degradation of the DBP4 enzyme. I'll go into that at another time. But major thing here that I want you to see is this drug, which is initially used for type 2 diabetes or really a metabolic health or pre-diabetic person to stimulate insulin secretion and lowers glucagon or glucose dependent manner. Now, yes, in turn, it may lower your glucose, blood glucose, but it secretes more insulin, which then in turn can actually store more glucagon or release more insulin within the body. Yes, in turn, it does cause a minor delay in gastric emptying. Now, the main thing people ask me is like, oh, wow, it's satiety. Satiety means it's a satisfying. People don't feel like they want to eat as much. They used to look at a plate of food and they would say, oh, I want to eat all of it. And instead, they now only want half of it or a small bite. It's because your body's mechanism of action at this time has been full and it thinks it's full. And then, it chooses not to eat. But in this way, when you really look at it, there is so many other side effects that come with this. And that's why it's not a medication that you're just going to say, hey, take it. Let me lose all of this weight. Because if you don't change your behaviors in the way of changing, so satiety, it just means to satisfy and so that you don't feel like you need more. The main issues with this is that there's many of side effects with any medications. Will they be effective? Yes, I will use them for some individuals, but until it's either this with an additional counseling and workaround and health coaching, because you need more than this. A shot's not going to fix your behavior, the way that you think about food, your emotional eating response. And until the thought process and you learn that, unfortunately, these are not going to be those quick fixes. Are they amazing for the weight loss? Yeah, because it stops you to eat and your stomach feels full. They call it gastric emptying. But guess what? Do you want to see the amount of side effects that are contributed to this? It is outstanding and kind of really serious. Like there's a black warning box on these medications that cause Tumor C, so thyroid cancer, and it's right here on the very top of it. Risk for thyroid C cell tumors. So that is a huge issue. Now, and it's because this is an endocrine hormone medication. GLP-1 is affecting your hormones. So when you're improving in sense your glycemic number, but in turn you're increasing your insulin within the body, and then in turn you may have these other excess side effects, is it worth it? So it's really about gain of positive. Like most people have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, constipation. Do you want that on your regular day? That's what you want so that you can lose weight quickly? I it's just not the correct way, because then your behaviors will change. Don't get me wrong, there is times when I will prescribe this medication, but there's warning, there's time and effort, and this is someone that needs to be with your provider for months, because you need to have that conversation. But I'm not advocating for or against. I just want people to understand why you're doing this. Most of the time, I would say I would advocate for more of a continuous glucose monitor for a patient, so then they can be aware of what the foods are spiking their glucose and how they can change it. And then also working on their overall behavior and learning what it is to eat healthy, learning what their food reacts to and what their body reacts to, and exercise and lifestyle management. This can be done in conjunction with that, but there are so many additional side effects that if a person is not aware of it, it may not be helpful. This is just my info for the day. I hope it helps. And, that's just kind of my thinking upon different metabolic health things. But as a provider and also as a overall health coach, I really feel that people need to understand what they're putting into their body in all aspects. People are so quick to put the food in, but they're not willing to do the work to stop what's going on in the overall mechanism of action. But I hope this helps a little, and you guys have a good rest of your day.